They wind up on Milwaukee's side of the bracket by doing what you're talking about. You want to avoid, I get it, you want Indiana in the first round, but what you do is you wind up on Milwaukee's side of the bracket, so that's who they would get in the second round of these playoffs, as opposed to playing Orlando or Brooklyn. I can't imagine Boston's afraid of either. My point is, if you're as good a team as they're supposed to be, I can't imagine it should matter that much who you're playing.
I agree with you, but the Celtics played Milwaukee in the playoffs last year.
Right.
And they beat them without Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. So they're confident that they have what it takes to advance past the Bucks.
All right, so that was one of 3 games last night. Laura, take us through the other 2.
Let's do it. Let's run the floor. James Harden doing James Harden things. His 3rd career playoff triple-double as the Rockets routed the Jazz again. Is this, Jalen, the best the Rockets have looked ever in the D'Antoni era with Harden?
I think so. And one of the things that they're able to do is keep a high level of usage for James Harden, keeping the basketball in his hands at the top of the floor where he can see double teams or how they're playing him, and still preserve Chris Paul in the process, anticipating a long run.
The Bucks also taking a 2-0 series lead as they pulled away from the Pistons in the second half. Sean, are we looking at a sweep here with the Bucks?
Yeah, there's no question this is going to be a sweep. And I think the biggest thing for me watching this series for the Bucks is Bledsoe and Chris Middleton and their play. Because you know what Giannis is going to give you, but if Bledsoe plays at the level in which he's playing at right now, this becomes a team that is viable to make the NBA Finals.
Damon Jones said the other day he likes the Bucks in 3. Candidly, at this point, I think that seems like a reasonable pick.
All of you guys are incorrect. Detroit wins in the city game 3.
Okay, we'll see about that.
That's the Michigan bias right there.
David Griffin was introduced Wednesday as the New Orleans Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations, said he wouldn't rule out the possibility of talking 6-time All-Star Anthony Davis into rescinding his trade request, coming to the Pelicans long term. Take a listen to this.
I'm extremely optimistic relative to the opportunity that lies ahead of us in the form of Anthony Davis. Rich Paul and I have spoken about Anthony. We are both excited about what we could potentially build here. You are either all the way in or you are all the way out, and there is no in between. When the measure of success in your franchise is going to be championships and generational excellence, this is not something that we negotiate about. This is not something we make allowances for. This is something that you live every day of your life. And I have every reason to believe Anthony will want to do that.
All right, look, I think as in this position, you're saying all the right things, right? He's supposed to say that. But is there a realistic possibility that Anthony Davis sticks with the Pelicans?
No. No, come on. But this is what you have to say publicly. But no, there's no chance. I mean, he is gone. He is out the door. He has made it clear you have to move him. But to save face and have any leverage whatsoever, you have to make it seem plausible that you are going to somehow convince him that you're going to build around him finally and give him the pieces to make a run.
There are people that actually thought I was tripping when Anthony Davis came out and said that he wanted to be traded. And I said that not only was going to destroy the Pelicans, it was going to destroy the Lakers. And both of those teams were in the playoffs last year. They're watching this year. So now when you get a new GM, it's all about leverage. He doesn't want the opponent to feel like he's desperate.
Listen, he said exactly the right things yesterday, and he is exactly the right guy. And Jalen, you and I were on First Take the other day, and we were talking about the mess that is the Laker front office. And as I was listening to David Griffin talk about all this stuff yesterday, all I was thinking is, why is that not the guy running the Lakers? That would have been the perfect person. They have Kobe Bryant's agent running the Lakers right now and doing coaching searches while this guy comes in and says, hold on, time out. We're not trading Anthony Davis just because they're telling us we have to. Of course, he knows he has to, but he's putting his team in the most favorable position they can be in under these circumstances. This is a really good move for the Pelicans, and he's the guy the Lakers should have hired.
It's a terrific move, and by the way, as the GM of the Cleveland Cavaliers, they won the championship.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he proved himself, but also the expectation in those jobs are different, Greeny. The Lakers have an aging superstar still playing at an all-star, all-NBA level in LeBron James, but he is going into his 17th season, yet media and fans and the history of their franchise suggest that they should be winning the championship next year. For the Pelicans, it's let's build out, see if we can get some draft picks, see if we can get some vets, see if we can get a lottery pick and rebuild. So those are two different jobs.
I understand that. I mean, which is a better job? I'm sorry, Lloyd. Which is a better job right now?
For sanity?
Yeah.
For sanity purposes, it's the Pelicans.
I agree.
Okay, but
I
for
think Luke Walton has a better job in Sacramento than whoever becomes the coach of the Lakers.
Correct.
He's
Based
got a
on
better
exactly
team.
what I just said.
Yeah, he's got a better team.
Expectations.
I think for the Lakers, you have to go out and look, if you're the Lakers right now and you're trying to find out who's going to be your general manager, everybody wants the next Jerry West, right? That's who the Laker fans are going back to. If that's the case, somehow, some way, you've got to throw enough cash at Bob Myers to try to see if you can get him out of Oakland. I mean, he grew up in L.A. I mean, he grew up in the Bay Area, but he played basketball at UCLA. He's done an incredible job with that organization. He learned under Jerry West. That would be the guy I think that could solidify the front office for the Lakers.
Either way, it does not seem to me like David Griffin will make a trade with the Lakers. I think they'll do everything possible to make sure that doesn't happen, which means Anthony Davis, once again, I mean, who knows where he ends up if he goes somewhere else, but he's not going to the Lakers.
I agree with you, and that's the thing that doesn't make the Lakers' job attractive because I don't think they're going to get the high-level elite free agents, and I don't think they're going to acquire Anthony Davis this offseason.
All right, we'll see where all that leaves us. We have tons of basketball to get to today, but are you aware that 1 week from tonight is the NFL Draft in Nashville? We'll all be there, and all eyes will be on the quarterbacks, of course, as always. Rightfully so, as Jalen would say. But it should be noted, Ohio State defensive end Nick Bosa is the top-rated prospect, according to Scouts Inc., with a grade of 90.